Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. So this week, I'm just going around looking for construction sites, trying to use some of the building that's going on for some analogies that we pull from scripture anyway, in hopes that it helps you with your video thought for the day. So look at this house behind me. They're putting on the roof. That's part of the drying in of the house. The roof's very important. You don't want to put appliances or floors, or certainly don't want to move in and have your furniture and your valuables in a house without a good working roof. Otherwise, the elements are going to come in and they're going to wreck stuff. Well, life is much the same way. We don't need to be living a life that doesn't have a roof or an umbrella of protection of sorts over us, so that the things we do and the things we build are things that are last and things that are valuable. I was speaking at a seminar yesterday, and there was a bunch of lawyers at the seminar, and one of the lawyers came up to me afterwards and was engaging in conversation and asked me, said, do you get real scared or real worried when you're in trial? Because you don't seem to be scared, you don't seem to be worried. And I said, I don't get worried in the typical sense. My concern is not one of gee, what's going to happen to this? Am I going to do all right? Am I going to be okay? My worry is very much, am I in God's will? Because if I'm in God's will, I don't need to be worried. I've got a roof of protection. I've been dried in. I've got a God who's bigger than any problems, who's bigger than any worries, a God who's not going to be surprised. That's who's protecting me. And I'm reminded of Psalm 17, verses 7 and 8, because those are words that are reassuring to me. In that passage, the psalmist says to God, you save those who trust in you from those who rise against them. And then asks God, hide me under the shadow of your wings. That's like, get me under your roof, God. Because there's no fear if you're under the shadow of God's wings. If you are under His protection, you're under His roof, you're under His house. So what does this mean for me practically today? It means I'm going to think about all the different things that are in front of me. But I'm not going to be afraid of things people say. I'm not going to be afraid of things people do. I'm not going to be afraid of the circumstances of life. I'm not going to fear the weather. I'm not going to fear the governments of the world. I'm not going to fear COVID. I'm not going to fear the vaccine. I'm not going to fear fill in the blank. I've got no fear. Now, that's not because there aren't scary things out there. There certainly are. And that's not because I don't have a responsibility to live responsibly. I certainly do. But that's going to be my fear. My fear is, am I doing what I should be doing in the will of God? If I'm in God's will, I don't need to be afraid of anything else. But I don't want to live outside of His roof. I don't want my life's choices to be ones that remove me from the protection that I have when I'm in God's will. So that's where I am. That's what I'm doing today. I've got one more construction analogy for you tomorrow, but today, just take a moment and make sure that the choices you're making are in God's will. Do the best you can to follow His will, and then you got a roof over your head that no weather's going to penetrate. That's your video thought for the day. God bless you. See you tomorrow.